I wanted to be Team Alpha Wolf Squadron.
Sean's not worried about copyright strikes. He's worried about airstrikes now.
That's not what we're talking about this episode.
Cleaned up all the trash by myself.
Go follow him at Drew Medin.
And just the way you two talk, the way you two are inspired.
So y'all have actually been listening to Dirt since before it was officially released.
The story of Dirt came from a line that I was not able to use.
I just want you to know Sean was the one who leaked it.
I don't know. Hello, and we are back for another episode of Welcome to the Medins. This episode is a little bit different because it's not just like a typical Welcome to the Medins topic. We are also, more so, talking about breakthrough. So it is Welcome to Medins / breakthrough. It's a combination of things. I'm really excited because we are going to be talking about the writing process for several of our songs. But this particular episode, we're going to be talking about the writing process for our song Dirt, which is a recent release single off of our new album, The Story of Dirt. And we have the two of the main writers, Drew and Catherine. Catherine is joining us from all the way in Phoenix right now. Quaff, I don't know if you want to wave and say hello.
Hi. It doesn't look like Phoenix because I'm inside my house.
In Phoenix.
And I don't grow cactus in
You
here.
should. I feel like that could help.
But that's rest assured I'm in Phoenix. I never lied about that. That's where I am.
Yes, Catherine is in Phoenix. But let's dive right in. There's a lot to talk about with the story of Dirt. Drew, Catherine, take us away. How did the song conception start?
Well, I'd be lying if I said that I started off the song. It's the song that Drew brought to the table.
Yeah.
But I guess I'll tell you about it. No. Drew can start it off.
Man, what was the first year that we did Backyard Bash?
I in 2018.
2018?
It was
I think it went
it
2
was
years.
before I got married.
Yes, because I didn't have kids yet, and I had kids the second
got
year.
it. So it was 2018, and it would have been whatever the day after Backyard Bash was that year, which I'm sure we could figure out, but I don't know right now. But I stuck around. Everybody else went off and had fun, and I stuck around the farm and cleaned up all the trash by myself that morning. It's very true.
I don't remember the first year.
What was I
feel
doing?
Like none of us would have left.
Yeah, no, you guys were all, it was a Sunday.
This is the day after?
Okay.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
we're all at church.
But I cleaned up the farm, and I spent most of that morning into the early afternoon just wandering around, picking up trash and stuff, and just making sure that there wasn't a horrible aftermath. And while I was walking around, I just had a little idea in my head. I think we had at the time the Cordoba classical guitar, the little thin-bodied one.
That's a really beautiful one.
Yep. And that was at the house, and so I went inside before I left, and just started playing the little idea, and then I realized it'd sound even cooler if it was piano. So then I played on a really out of tune upright piano. And to be honest, it sounded cooler on the in-tune guitar than it did on the out-of-tune piano, but came up with that, and then went back outside with that kind of floating in my head, and started just coming up with words. And that was the start of it, was just cleaning up garbage a day after.
Was what inspired...
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, was trash what inspired you to write Dirt?
I don't think so. I think it was just walking.
That's what it sounds like. Sounds like you were just like, here I am out in the dirt.
Well, if that was the case, then it would have been a rap song, because I was out picking up rappers.
That'd be a great short.
Anyway, it's early. No, I don't know. I don't think it was the garbage of it. I think it was just walking around outside. You know, like more just being outside, that part of it.
Outside in the dirt, picking up rappers.
Yeah. that was it. So, yeah, that was kind of the start. Was just that day. I was out doing chores while everybody else was out having fun.
At church.
We were at
which
church,
was
to be clear.
which
Wait,
is
we're-
fun.
Are
no,
you
we were-
implying that you wouldn't
half
have
the
fun at
worship team.
church? Is that what you're saying?
That's not what we're talking about this episode. We have a great time at church.
Okay.
Anyway, back to the song.
I know I'm not the interviewer, but I do want to say, because there's a local artist who, like, this is probably his favorite song. Just the way he talks about it. I think it's his favorite song in the world. His name is Fred Sommers.
Local to Minnesota.
Local to Northfield, not to Phoenix.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Not local to Catherine's house.
I mean, he's more than a local artist. He's an internationally known artist,
Yep.
Fred Sommers. And this is his favorite song. And I just think it's really cool when he paints and he talks about his inspiration. He's like, oh, it was the sun hitting the Cannon River right at sunset, and I was just thinking about how beautiful that God's creation is. And his favorite song was written because you're picking up garbage.
You know, there's stranger.
And just the way you two talk, the way you two are inspired to do your things is very, very fun to compare.
Well, I mean, don't compare our output, because mine would fall very, very short of Fred's.
And I don't know if Fred would agree with that. Again, I'm pretty sure it's his favorite song in the world. He brings it up all the time.
So, I mean, Backyard Bash, the year that you were all alone at the farm, cleaning up trash, writing this song about dirt, was quite a while ago to present day, where we finally released it. So, why did it kind of take so long to go from conception, all alone on a farm, cleaning up after our music festival, just making that point clear so everyone knows Drew is doing it by himself,
Yep.
to when we released the song? I mean, that's quite a few years. We're at 2024 now.
Well, I mean, we started recording that song in 2021, I think, or 22.
22, I think.
Yeah. So it wasn't that long. 4 years. That's like way less time than it usually takes.
For a band that released an album every 3 to 5 years, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that. Why did it take so long? Because we weren't working on an album in between then. Because I think we had just released or finished working on The Path at that point. So we weren't working on anything new. And with a lot of the songs that I write, a lot of the time it's just kind of I write them and either deliberately don't finish them in case we start working on something new, you know, as a group, so that I got something to contribute, or I finish them and then don't do anything with them because I just never do anything with most of the stuff that I write. There's probably like 300 songs that I have almost done that I'm not probably ever going to do anything with.
Those are all going to be B-sides.
Yeah. I have a few of them that you've brought to the band that I have records. I'm like, do you remember when we played this song? And you're like, oh yeah, I remember every single chord.
Yep.
It's just like this endless library in your mind. And then all your what's the page? Is it just your normal Instagram?
Normal Instagram.
that you posted like a year of riffs or
So what
something?
is that, at Drew Medin?
Yeah, when I'm not inspired, when I'm not really inspired to write my own stuff, I just go and I pick one of your things and I write off of that. I say that's what the band should play next. Yeah, I still have my favorite one. The kids like it too. They say we need more banjo.
Well, if you want to hear more of Drew's ideas, go follow him at Drew Medin, where you can hear all of his year of riffs. And then I think he's continued on, not officially on the year of riffs, but he posts his
I don't think
different
I'm
musical ideas on there.
I don't think I'm doing the year of riffs again. That was so much work.
But go check him out for more of the ideas. Drew is very brilliant, and the stuff that he comes up with is very creative, out of the ordinary. I love listening to it. So at one point in time, Drew, you brought it to the band, and we started working on it together. Did it end up having the ultimate shape that you thought it would? Or kind of as each of us jumped in, did it take a little bit of a different form?
I think it kind of went the way I had more or less expected it to go. Yeah, I think I had it in my head that it was going to be just kind of a looped thing over and over and over again, and that we were going to do like verses and instrumentals and stuff. So, I don't think it went anywhere totally unexpected. Trying to think of how to answer that question in an interesting way. You edit this stuff, right? Like you chop
No,
it up.
never.
Do you never?
I do.
Okay.
Keep every little bit of it.
Some minor editing.
Am I gonna have to force some edits into it by saying things that you're gonna be like, I gotta take that out?
Can't have our audience hearing that.
Yeah. I don't think it went anywhere like that I didn't want it to go, or that was terribly unexpected or anything like that. What was the rest of that question?
How it kind of took its form. Like there have been some songs that have started out of like just, hey, let's just start jamming together, see what happens, and then it takes a form all its own. But then you had started writing this back in 2018 all on your own while cleaning up the yard after Backyard Bash,
which was full of garbage.
Yeah, which is full of garbage, to inspire a song called Dirt,
which wasn't about the garbage.
Yeah.
Can I say something about my writing experience with Drew, because I felt like it was fully that way when we were writing this song. Is that okay, when I bring a song forth, I have only the idea of how it sounds as a ballad. I don't have any real picture of how it goes. So it just kind of depends how everybody else takes this, is how it gets its flavor. I just bring like the basics. And when Drew comes with the song, he's pretty much got it laid out in his head, and all that we are is really the the things that make it so that he can play multiple instruments at the same time. Like, if you ever watched Mary Poppins and that guy who walks around with the drum and a harmonica, and he's got it all on like a big get up. I think if Drew could do all of it at once, he already knows exactly how it's going to go. So we'll be like, all right, let's write this piano part, and you'll get in. He'll be like, let me tell you what the piano part is, and then he'll like that was all Drew. I guess I don't know about the guitar, but because everything's all looping, every instrument, every part's echoed in another instrument at some point. Drew does come with the idea, and we are all just the hands that make it possible for him to put all those ideas to work at the same time.
That is pretty true.
Is that your experience, Sean?
Yeah, because I'm thinking from like the drummer standpoint. I'm like, he's not a drummer, so how in the world does he understand what is going on right now? But his input is a great starting point for where the drum part ultimately ends up. I think there have only been a few of Drew's songs where I've been like, nope, I'm going to do it this way. But I really like this one because it's a very chill part. I think the one part I do remember like having direct input on was the I'm trying to think, like, it's after the last chorus where you go up, break, and then into the instrumental and the outro.
Yeah, you're like, let's break.
We should break, but should we break here? Should we break here or here? Like, I remember there were 3 different spots. I was like, a break would totally work here, and it'd be amazing to insert it here. But then it was like, in which of these 3 spots do we insert this break? Because I want the break and I want to have input in on this song, but where do we put it? And I remember that being a whole discussion.
This reminds me of the snaps and claps in Idol too, but I think some of my proudest moments in songwriting are just like when the little say that I want to put into a Drew song happens, because I already know that the song's going to be great. And then, while everybody's loving the song, I'm going to be like, I put that word in there. I said this, let's say her instead of she. That was me.
I do think about that every single time I listen to this song is, I got to choose where that was. That break was my idea. But it takes all the way to the end for me. Like, So I listened all the way through for that one point. And then, of course, I love the outro. A fun fact, actually, that all the listeners should know is, if you haven't listened to the song already, you've gotten to hear little bits of the song in the intro and the outro for Welcome to the Medins over this past year. Is
Drew getting royalties for that?
No, but it was a funny thing. I actually had that. I was uploading It was like 2 episodes ago of Welcome to Medins to YouTube, and it did all the upload processes, going and checking out all copyrights, and then it said you can't upload because there's a copyright issue. So I like went in to look at it, and it's like you can't use the intro outro song. You have to add something else. And it's like the artist wouldn't approve or whatever the whole YouTube thing is. I'm like, I'm the artist. This is my song. I should be able to use it if I want to.
That's when I think you've made it, is when you could do a lawsuit against yourself.
So
Was it? I think. Do you guys know who John Fogerty is?
no, some of our listeners probably do.
Yeah. Do you know who Creedence Clearwater Revival is? CCR.
Do you, listeners? Leave a comment.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. I can't remember exactly what
Yeah,
the
it
lawsuit
was-
was, but
it
I
was
do
his-
remember feeling like, oh, that's a little
Record
ridiculous.
label, John Fogerty's record label, sued him for ripping off one of his own songs, one of his Creedence Clearwater Revival songs, when he was doing his solo work as just John Fogerty, and he actually had to like bring a guitar into the courtroom and play both of the songs to prove that they weren't the same. So it wasn't. And I think the lawsuit got dropped or settled or something, but it wasn't the fact that he was the artist who wrote the first song and he was the artist who wrote the second song. You know, you would think that would be like, oh yeah, I wrote both songs. So I'm not going to sue myself. But since his label technically owned the rights to that first song, he wound up having to prove that they weren't the same, which is crazy to me. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, just to give the band peace of mind, I'm not going to sue us for the fact that I couldn't use our song on my video. I have been able to upload the past like 2 with it in the intro. I just oddly for that one I had to change it. And so in Welcome to Medins, usually for branding reasons, someone uses all the same song. There's going to be an interruption of that for an episode like 2 episodes ago. But then the last ones, that's been my intro song. And honestly, when I've looked at using other music for the intro and outro of Welcome to the Medins, I just can't think of it as anything other than that. And so
It's a
it is
catchy
a catchy song. And I love how it fits with the topics that we talk about. My like how I kind of present things when I'm talking, how other people do in the conversation. It fits so well for being like chill, relaxed, yet very engaging. So y'all have actually been listening to Dirt since before it was officially released. Hopefully PJ doesn't hear that.
Yeah, I'm not very like copyright strike happy or anything, but PJ, my goodness.
Boy. So
you leaked a song?
Yeah, I think it maybe played into the success of the release. So I'll give us some copyrights now in the corner when it's like, hey, this is the song by this person. Leave it in the description. I'll do that now.
There's a band that Hannah and I used to listen to a lot, which I won't name, but they were very, very like popular with their fan base. You would think, anybody would be popular with their fan base, but they were like very popular with their fan base
Unless it's Nickelback's fan base.
Well, I mean anybody's fan base, but they were so popular with their fan base and so like, I don't know, like the fans were weird, but the fans, every time that like a new album was rumored to be coming up, somehow they would find like the unreleased, unfinished tracks and then leak them. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the situation was, but inevitably some unfinished track would be released and it would be incredible. Like, just an amazing song. And then the band would get so upset that that happened that they would scrap all of the leaked songs and start the album over. So it would take a ridiculous amount of time for something new to come out, and then every time that they release something new, it would be worse than the leaked songs. It was like they were spiting everybody, and the fan base stuck around anyway, which is
Probably
insane.
just for that interaction. It's like a love-hate relation. It's just a thing that we do, you know? It's like the back and forth.
The band's like, it's not a thing that we do. Stop it. And they're like, oh,
You
stop.
love it.
Yeah,
You love that we do this.
So that's Sean and our. If we ever get stuff leaked, I just want you to know Sean was the one who leaked it.
I don't know about that, but just so you know, Praise Him is on the next one.
Okay, yeah. See,
Which I'm excited to talk about that one. I actually had a lot of input on that one, but anyway.
I think you guys had more input on Dirt than you're saying, and right now you're giving me a reputation of tyrannical overlord.
No, it's not tyrannical. It's like everything.
No, what I'm trying to say is you have it all in place because you're a genius. That's what I'm trying to say. But I also want to put, because I've been waiting to tell everybody this, that the line, the story of Dirt, this isn't anything about you, but the line, the story, well, it's a little bit.
And it all comes out
the
through
story
Welcome
of
to
Dirt was a
Medins.
line I wanted to put in the song. I don't remember when I started contributing, like, the first two verses fully drew, the second two verses were a mixture, and I wanted to end the song with something about the story of Dirt. And for whatever reason, it didn't fit. We repeated the line, the dirt he taught to sing, which ended up great for the song. But when we were all talking about what do we want to call this album that we're releasing single by single, everyone's throwing out these names, and I don't remember what all of them were, but I just saved it. I was like, I know what this album is going to be called. I've been waiting to use
It was going to
this.
be called Waiting.
And so submitted the story of Dirt. Yeah, it's going to be called Waiting. No,
Chris
it was
Pratt's face doing.
the story of Dirt. The album name, The Story of Dirt, came from a line that I was not able to use in the song.
Because Sean leaked the line.
And I'm very happy about that.
So we had to cut it from.
It never made it into the song. I thought it was going to be so great. I was so proud of coming forth with that line, but it didn't work out in the song. And so it got to be the name of the album instead. You lose the battle, you win the war.
Well, I still feel like we should name this album like Sick, Most Awesome Alpha Wolf Squadron, but I think that would have been great.
Yeah, that was my second choice. But first choice, Story of Dirt.
I was partial to Steven.
Wait, we should just do an album.
What movie is
Steven,
this?
but Steven, like, and that's just a picture of that dog's face.
I know you guys are quoting a movie, and I
actually
know
have no
I've seen
idea
it, but I don't
Sean's
know what it is.
referencing right there, but
The dog.
Team Alpha Wolf Squadron.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't remember.
I don't remember what movie that's from.
is
I'll
it
have to look
Chicken
it up.
Little?
I don't know. Leave a comment
No, I
if
don't
you
think so.
know which movie that is. It is from some animated flick, I'm pretty sure.
Chicken Little was animated.
Well, yes, it was, but I don't think it was that one.
That doesn't, just because it's an animated movie doesn't mean every animated movie references about
Most of
Chicken
them are.
Little.
Not everything
true.
goes back to Star Wars.
That's
Most
true.
of it does.
What? I'm a nervous eater.
That is a great. We aren't talking about Chicken Little.
Yeah.
We'll do that in a different episode.
Sean's getting enough copyright strikes from our own music. We don't need to reference Disney as well.
Yeah, that's true. That'd be bad. Well, we have a few minutes left. What else should our listeners know as they're either preparing to listen to Dirt for the first time or even a fun little backstory as like information know as they've listened to it?
If you want, how would I even phrase this? You're going to edit this, right?
No.
This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole
Get it right
world.
the first
Now
time.
you're going to have to edit it. Ha!
No, I won't actually because they
Otherwise-
mark based
Otherwise,
on
we're getting
BPMs, I'm pretty sure.
demonetized. Otherwise, we're getting demonetized.
I'm not getting any money for this anyway.
I know, but still, there's that hope.
The day we do.
How would I phrase this? If Catherine, how would you phrase this?
If you want to
Nope,
get the
that's
most
not
out of it,
If you want to,
well, then I have no clue. That's
no,
where I
I'm
thought you were
talking
going.
about the musical. No,
Dynamics.
fingerprint almost like what the DNA of it is. Influences. Musical influences.
Like
Yeah, like
musical
that.
influence?
Like influences.
That's what it is. Yeah, if you want to know, hold on, cut, compose, action. If you want to know the musical influences, that was the sentence. There we go. Of the song. There's a couple of them.
Only a couple.
Only a couple. The Orange Mighty Trio, which is an instrumental trio from the Twin Cities, I think.
Hey.
Yeah. They had a bunch of little EPs that were pretty awesome. I haven't heard anything from them or of them in years, so I don't know if they're still around. But they were definitely in there. There was definitely some old classic Sia reference in there, or influence in there. And I would...
Oh, it sounds like Breathe Me a little bit.
That little, especially towards the end of it. And then there's certainly some math rock elements to it, especially in the direction that PJ's guitar solo went, which was kind of fun. And I'm trying to think of what else.
And just straight trash from the ground.
Again,
A little
it
trash,
wasn't
a little
inspired by the
paranoia.
garbage. It was just us being, well, not even us, me by myself cleaning up garbage, but just me being outside. Yeah, little hint of pop punkiness too. A little hint of the story so far. A little bit, just a hint. But yeah,
This is a small one.
yeah, that's the musical makeup of the song, we'll say. And now you can add that segment into every single song.
Perfect.
What is the musical makeup of this song?
The musical makeup.
Yeah, there you go.
Very interesting musical cosmetology.
Yep.
Well, if you want to listen to the song, head on over to Breakthrough's YouTube page at Breakthrough Rocks.
.com. .gov.
No, so at we're a government organization. No.
The whole band is a psyop.
You're gonna know. Anyway.
Sean's not worried about copyright strikes. He's worried about airstrikes now.
Yeah. Oh boy. This whole thing won't air now. Head on over to www.breakthroughrocks.com. You can also subscribe to our channel on YouTube and go follow us on Instagram. I'll put all of those links in the video description. If you want to keep up on the music announcements and hear more of the backstories and what we're doing, you can also like and subscribe Welcome to the Medins and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Leave a comment if you have any questions about our music writing, how all of that goes, what it's like being a family band. We want to interact with you guys and give you more backstories, because I feel like just getting to know people is a lot of fun, particularly in the musical realm. So thank you very much for tuning into this episode where we talked about the writing process of Dirt with Catherine and Drew. Thank you both very much for joining us. We're looking forward to seeing you next time on Welcome to the Medins.
Do you remember the show Zoom?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, do you remember that? If you like what you see, turn off the TV and do it.
Yeah.
That little line from it.
If you like what you see, turn off your computer. Oh, wait, you can't like and subscribe anymore. Never mind.
Shrek. Shrek was Team Alpha Wolf Squadron, the one where they go pick up Justin Timberlake from school, and he gets a chance to be the king.
There we go. Team Alpha Wolf Squadron.
Hold on now. I don't.
Right now we're gonna fact check.
I wanted to be Team Alpha Wolf Squadron.
Yeah, I do remember. It was an animated one. Yes, I was right. I was thinking that or some really like dumb live action film. But now that I think of it being Pinocchio saying it.
Or no, it's not the one where they pick up Justin Timberlake. It's the one where they're trying to do it. Oh, it is that one. Yeah, it is that one. Yes.
JT, if you want to fact check, leave a comment for us. That would help tremendously. Drew is still looking, but we're running out of time.
Unless it was no, absolutely not. I wasn't in that movie.
I was definitely not. I
Shrek
take
the
zero
Third.
credit for that one. Matter of fact, I
No.
try to forget it.
Try to find and rewatch Chicken Little. I know that there's some sort of silly team name reference in that.
It's on a particular site with a plus at the end.
It's not Team Alpha Wolf Squad.
See you next time.